Well, today marks Heritage Day, and President Cyril Ramaphosa will lead the national celebratory event at the Union Buildings in Pretoria. This year's celebrations take place under the theme Celebrating the Legacy of Solomon Linda and South Africa's Indigenous music. The theme also pays tribute to the 60th anniversary of Linda's passing. He's best known as the composer of the song Mbube, which later became the popular music success The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Well, Newzroom Afrika's Tshegohaco Moagi is following the story and joins us live from Pretoria. Tshegohaco, what can we expect from today's festivities, especially noting that the President will be leading those events?
Well, good morning, Ntokozo. So what we can expect this morning is to once again hear from President Cyril Ramaphosa about the importance of Heritage Day. You'd remember the last year he actually spoke about this, and this is actually the first time, if I'm not mistaken, where as a country we are able to celebrate Heritage Day and do so in person. So he will be here, of course, as you've mentioned. He'll be leading the proceedings today, President Cyril Ramaphosa, that is. And last year he had spoken extensively about us being a united people as a country. He also spoke about how South Africans need to work together to ensure that there isn't crime within the country or even corruption within South Africa. But today we are then expecting him to speak more as to, people like Solomon Linda, as you've mentioned, the composer of Mbube, and to get more information about him as a person. And we're also expecting to hear from President Cyril Ramaphosa about the other indigenous languages that we should be embracing as a country, or how we should be embracing each other as a country within South Africa. You do know that, this is in Gauteng, so we are expecting that the Gauteng MEC for Sports, Arts and Recreation, Mbali Sope, she'll be here together with Minister Nathi Mthethwa. We also do know that David Makhura will also be here, the Premier of Gauteng, and then the President delivers his keynote address just before midday today. So proceedings or the celebrations are expected to start here in about the next hour or so with some musical items, and the formal proceedings will start at about 11 o'clock.
I can see in your background the sprawling lawns of the Union building still quite empty for now. When can we expect people to start arriving in their numbers, of course donned in all their traditional attire, as you have this morning so beautifully, if I may say?
Thank you so much, Ntokozo. So we can expect people to start arriving between 8 and 9 o'clock here at the lawns of the Union buildings. It is, as you've mentioned, still quite empty. We were told as well that there was that presidential sweep just to make sure that everything is safe for the delegates that will be coming in. We have also seen quite a heavy police presence where we had entered, Ntokozo, to actually find ourselves where we are standing at the moment. There's a very heavy police presence in that area. You even go through scanners, so your bags and everything else gets scanned as you enter the lawns here of the Union buildings. The stage is set up here in Ntokozo, as you can see behind me. The stage is set up. They're just doing a few more final touches here on the lawns of the Union buildings. And it is interesting that they've made it somewhat informal, so to speak, that they actually brought it out as a government to the Union buildings instead of having it formally at the buildings itself, at the actual building itself. There are about 2 or 3 tents that I see around us, and as we move on and as we give the viewer more details about this event, my colleague and I, Kateho, will be able to show you more of that. But there are a few tents that are here, big marquee tents that are in the area, really just to accommodate the number of people that are coming out today. We are, of course, as I've mentioned, expecting some of those delegates to come through, the likes of Premier David Makhura, of course, President Cyril Ramaphosa, Minister Nathi Mthethwa, the MEC of Sports, Arts and Culture in Gauteng, and other delegates as well are expected to be here at the celebrations of Heritage Day. at the lawns of the Union buildings. And so, the big marquee tents are there for various people to be able to just enjoy themselves and to relax, actually. As we do know, Pretoria is quite a hot city. So those tents are there also to allow people to be in a shaded space. So those proceedings, the celebrations really of the musical items expected to start at about 8. We are expecting people to get through or to start trickling in from about that time. The formal proceedings of the speeches and so forth expected to begin at about 11 o'clock.
Well, it does seem to be a day full of music and festivities as you've described for us there. So thank you very much. We will, of course, continue to bring rolling coverage of that event out at the Union buildings in Tshwane. A call being made to all South Africans, particularly today, to celebrate everything that makes us so culturally diverse and everything that enriches the country.